Welcome back to the Setup Podcast. I'm your host, Victor, along my co-host, Mark. How you
Yo.
doing, sir, on this fine, dandy Saturday morning?
I'm doing good. Came out today. Weather was nice. It wasn't too hot. I was like, oh, it's a nice little breeze. I'm like, I like this. I like this. But yeah, been good. How have you been?
I'm good, man. Can't complain. It was a strong little breeze. Cause I was out in the shorts. I felt a little shiver. I'm like, oh damn, leaves are changing. Times are changing.
Yeah, I'm loving it though.
Yeah.
I personally don't like. I like the summer, and I'm starting to get used to it. But I think it's more so like I'm getting used to it as my years go on. So it's like little by little. Like I don't think I'm gonna like fully love it as much as I love the colder seasons. But like every time I'm just like, oh, sun's nice.
Yeah.
I like it. I might be dying sometimes of a heat, stroke, but it's all good.
Can't complain. Mark, I thought we were done with this saga, but clearly not. I feel like since we're in this space, we always have to address it. The diddler's been caught.
Mm-hmm.
It's all over.
Yeah.
One would hope.
We thought
they got a Freako case on P. Diddy.
A whole lot of
Puff
baby
Daddy. Love. Remember he tried to change his name to Love?
Yeah. I don't know.
Got caught. He was doing Five Nights at Diddy's.
Five Nights at Diddy's. They were. The other people were.
Indidious.
Yeah. Indidious.
Bro,
yeah.
Have you read up on it? Have you seen what's going on?
I mean, I've seen a lot of stuff like post about it. I haven't really read too deep into it, but like I said, I saw little things like obviously the amount of baby oil that they found in.
Bro,
like,
1,000 bottles of baby oil. Johnson & Johnson sponsor.
Yeah, I'm like, that's insane. What else do you use baby oil for? Like,
how long is a bottle? Like, do you own a bottle of baby oil in any capacity? Have you ever seen one in your life?
I've seen one in my life. There was one at my house before, but like that was it. I think my mom. That's when I was younger though, and I knew it was there, and I was just like, okay, but like I never knew, like, cause seeing the name baby oil, I'm like, what do you actually really like use this for?
Moisture.
And I was like, okay, it must be for like moisture and stuff like that, but like I never actually like took the time to use it myself, so I was just like, okay, cool.
Made for babies and baby making.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. There you go.
But like it lasts decades. You could buy a bottle right now. And then, you use it for yourself, use it for your child. Your child can grow up, have its own child, and you still can have the same baby oil if it doesn't expire.
Yeah.
Not only do they have 1,000 bottles of baby oil in this one home.
Yeah, there's multiple.
He owns multiple. I'm sure there's other supplies out there. That is what he had left of his baby oil.
So there's no telling exactly.
Yeah, like you don't know how much was used. You don't know if he just came back from Sam's Club and like just bought the 1,000 bottles. Is that a low count for him? Is that a
Yeah.
Does he look at that and be like, damn, we're running out of baby oil?
And how much does he use
in one setting,
in one go,
in
like,
one freak off?
Like, is it like 500?
Yeah.
Like.
Now, what I've heard / read is that apparently these freak offs could last days at a time.
That's so weird.
So that might just be enough. He'd be like, yo, I don't know if this is going to be enough for the next freak off. We have 2 coming up in the next month.
I think we need to, put an order in for like 2,000.
Yeah. So there's really there's no way of telling what, like, this unprecedented territory. Who knows what entails in a freak off?
Yeah. My thing is though, like in getting those baby oils, I just realized like, how does he get it? Like it's through Amazon.
It has to be bulk.
But that's what I'm saying though, because like, and who's the person to get it? Because it's not him.
Yeah, no.
So it's like,
can't leave a trail. And then, obviously, like you've seen probably Amazon drivers like deliver to your house or in the area. Mm-hmm. Imagine being that's
what I'm saying.
Driver.
Because I think for the most part, everybody who's a driver who works at Amazon, they know what's in the package.
I'm not sure they do. Do they?
They don't. I don't know. I feel like
I don't know anybody who's ever delivered for them. So
yeah,
I'm not sure
I don't know. I'm only saying because like I feel like when they have to scan it and stuff like that, I don't know.
Maybe.
Or it tells you what it is, I mean, obviously you could tell when it's a TV. Yeah. Like you can tell certain things, but like I guess like
Amazon drivers chime in. Like, can you see our shit?
Like can you tell like beforehand, just like when you get to the house, like, oh, okay, it's that, and then you just hand it off? Because I mean, I feel like they would have to know for some stuff when it's like if it's like fragile or stuff like that, Otherwise they just
that's like different. Like in Amazon, they just put it's just a smiley face. Other like USPS, like they know what I got because it's on the packaging. You'll see Nike or whatever the fuck.
True, yeah.
Unless you order from one of them websites where you don't want them to know, they put discreet packaging. You know what I mean? You get your Blue Chew, you get your whatever else you use in your private time.
Baby oil.
Not saying I use it, but you know,
Honestly, at this point, I think baby oil is now going to come up as discreet.
yeah, it might have to. Honestly, it's almost similar to like back when like Rona was a thing, where like you see somebody cough and it's like you start looking at them. Soon you see somebody in like the express checkout line with like more than one bottle of baby oil, you immediately just like, even if it's two is outrageous. Like
two is kind of crazy.
Even if you go to a baby shower, like why are you buying two? Yeah. So it's kind of wild. But apparently, like the whole idea behind these freak offs would just be there'd be like a room in Diddy's house, and he would hire like sex workers, I don't know how else to put it, to come out and, you know, they do their thing, they do their service with men and women sex workers, and they would have to go at it for days at a time at some points. And I'm assuming people are like watching. How do you win? I'm trying, like, I don't want to come off as insensitive, but these are just genuine like things that I'm like questioning, because what does this even mean? I've never heard this term before in my life, besides like in a joking way. And like condolences and like prayers, and I hope y'all get justice for the people that are involved in this stuff and like were mistreated. But this is like a weird subject that I can't help but like make a joke about it. If not, like I'll cry or be sad.
Yeah, I'm just surprised, like, with all this happening, like, how hasn't it got, like, has it got leaked before, like, earlier? Like, I feel like it has, right? Like, people's talked about it.
It's one of those things where, like, you think about R. Kelly, right?
Yeah.
I've known since I was a kid that R. Kelly was like on some weird shit, but everybody just like accepted it.
Yeah, they were just like, whatever.
Yeah, like I knew that Dave Chappelle's kid was like 20 years old by the time he got caught, and nobody questioned like. You mean like there was a videotape? He went to court.
Well, he did. It's just that no one took that skit seriously. You know
that's what I'm saying. And like other people have made jokes about this same situation a billion times. Like they have talked about it. Yeah. But it's one of those difficult situations where it's like, even for the people involved, it's like, do you speak on it and like put him on blast, and then you, no joke, like legitimately put at risk yourself dying? Because he put a bomb in like Kid Cudi's car, didn't he, or something like that?
Did he?
I remember he talked last time.
Did he?
Did he do it or did he not?
Did he?
To Diddy or not to Diddy? No, I remember last time that this first came about, we spoke about it, and a bunch of stories about Diddy came about, and I believe it was like Kid Cudi spoke to like Cassie or something for like a minute, and then like,
where's this man getting a bomb from? What the
bro?
heck?
It's Diddy. He dressed up as the Joker and It for Halloween. You don't think he believes he's genuinely in that persona, bro?
Hey man, it was probably a bomb, a baby oil bomb. It just blows up in the car, and it's just baby oil everywhere.
Just Kid Cudi just humming, looking at his car covered in baby oil. But then, yeah, it's like, what was I talking about?
Just like how no one has kind of like
come about. Yeah, it's like been hinted at before, but it's like, if you speak, you run the risk of like getting in trouble, getting harmed, or anything like that, or you end up ruining your career. Yeah, because like some of these people is like, yeah, like.
There's probably some of those people who are in there who enjoy that stuff that are higher up, you know, and then if they know that you snitched on it, you know.
That's a whole other envelope that the topic I want to touch on while we're still here. But yeah, like there's so many, like you can be the person who's comes out about it, but you put yourself at such a risk, especially if like other people around are like, what are you talking about? Like that's not true. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like who wants to go home? One of those situations, and then nobody wants to go home.
Why you want to leave?
Yeah, nobody wants to go.
This guy wants to leave.
So
I just find it weird because, like, I'm just like, again, like you realize, like, the more you grow up and hear these things about these people, and then these things come out, just like how sick some people are, and you're just like, bro, like, why do you want to be known for that?
Nah.
Like, why do you want to die, and then you want people at your deathbed to be like, man, he threw the best freak off party, man. like, no, bro. Like, I don't want people to be saying that at my funeral. Like, that's weird.
Some people are just like sick like that, bro. Or some people just have money for too long. Think about how long Diddy's been around.
He has been around for a long time. Honestly, when I was younger, when I mean tell you really young, I really was so confused sometimes. Because like Diddy to me sometimes really reminded me of Kanye. And I sometimes
they have that similar like idea, yeah.
Yeah, and I always sometimes got confused. I'm like, who is who sometimes? I always thought, I'm like, wait, when they talk about this, is that kind of like, I always got confused. But anyway.
If you weren't black, I would say that's racist, but continue.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, hey man, I don't care.
You got the earrings back on?
I always had the earrings
Did you?
on. Yeah,
maybe it's
the
headphones.
Sometimes. But no, yeah, like, yeah, he has been around for a long time. Like, and I was honestly, I always got it's like, wait,
Was that saying it's full?
it's been stopped automatically.
We'll just continue for the time being.
I was always just like confused exactly like what he did to really get his fame, like his fame at first. I was just like, okay, this guy, I see him around, but like, what does he do exactly? But yeah, he's been around for a long time.
Well, he was a part of like Bad Boy and shit like that. Like he was
okay.
helping like as agent and like helping like produce everything around Bad Boy. So he was a part of the shit going on with Tupac and Biggie.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's where he got like, or he may stretch back even farther than that, but that's where like
he's actually super old.
Yeah, bro. Like you don't like in all the songs with like Biggie, it's always like Bad Boy, like that's him, or he's like take that.
Yeah, we should have known.
Like
we should have known sooner.
Or like what's another song? Oh,
he was dropping hints and we just didn't catch on.
And Big Papa when Biggie's like, if you got a gun up on your waist, please don't shoot up the place. Diddy's in there. He comes after Biggie says that, he goes, why? And then Biggie's like, cause I see some ladies tonight that should be having my baby. Yeah, but of course Diddy crazy ass like, why wouldn't you want to shoot up the place? I don't get it. Why not? So he's been around for years, bro. And like some people have tied him as well as Suge Knight to like being the reason as to why Tupac and Biggie died in the first place. So apparently like he might be a part of that. Now Jay-Z is getting pulled into it because all these guys have been around for so long. And obviously when you have this kind of money, I feel like you kind of get roped in or in the same boat as a lot of these people.
Yeah, and the thing that's crazy about some of those situations too is that the thing I feel like it sucks about being famous in those situations is that, and I feel bad because I feel like a lot of these famous people, so at least some of them have matured and have realized that there's some stuff that they just don't want to be a part of anymore. They just want to be like, yeah, I'm just doing this stuff and that's it.
Yeah.
But when they were probably starting off, they probably did get roped into some of that stuff and they probably did it in the beginning. So let's say maybe Jay-Z did it and he did it for like in the beginning part, then he's just like completely cut off, done. But now he has to get roped into it because it's like, bro, you did participate in something, you know? So it's like, but
now low key, like I mean, obviously I don't know all the details. I'm not a part of this life, but like Jay-Z has some. He's been around for too long. There was like shady shit. It's like, and also you got to think about this time. Like you got to think about how long ago this stuff is. Like you think about like 90s. I would say when they're on the come up. The idea, like, do you think that any of them could have ever considered the fact that like cancel culture would ever be a thing, or like that the stuff would trace back to them?
Oh no.
So like, people were just wilding out back then. Thinking,
they think
they were just this is just how life is going to be. We'll get away with it always.
They think because like, oh, I got money, like I'm basically
cool.
Like nothing will come back to me. Everybody in here is in the same boat. Like so, like oh yeah, we're cool. Cool. But it's just like, bro, like you can just never be too cautious about that stuff and. It, like you said, it just got to their head to the point where they just thought like nothing could go wrong. You know, it's that phrase literally got them.
Yeah. So
what could go wrong?
I feel like that's what a lot of people do. I always have that kind of thought when I think about people who have passed away from that era. Like for me, I love Biggie. I love his music, and like Pac. People always put him on this pedestal of like, you know, he's a poet, he's an artist, this and that. But it's like that was at a time where we didn't have as much of a connection to these people. Like this was just like what you saw on TV, what you heard on the song, that's what you knew. And maybe the occasional like paparazzi shit you would hear. But if these guys stood around, like what could have come out about them? Like would they have be as clean as we want to make them seem, or would they be on a similar boat as like a Jay-Z or a Diddy or things along those lines? That's why it's like it almost kind of helped their future reputation, you know.
Yeah, I'm trying to think about it too. Like,
passing at their peak.
I feel like, yeah, like at their time, like you're like thinking like, oh, like what could have like, you know, what was the worst that could have happened at their time? But like, I just feel like it probably would have got even worse just because of how things have escalated with stuff and just technology and everything. Like imagine like Tupac right now on IG. Like
that's what I'm trying to say. Like,
and imagine the situation right now. What's her face and
what
with Jada Pinkett.
Yeah, like, oh my gosh, she'd be insufferable. Well, they probably wouldn't even be together.
Yeah.
Talking about Will Smith.
Yeah, definitely. And Will Smith probably would have just been he probably still would have been making TV.
Yeah, still doing his thing, bro. He would have been at
awesome.
peace.
Yeah, that job would have been awesome.
Now you gotta live in Tupac's shadow. But yeah, it's just like to think, like they probably never thought they would get to this extent. Same with like a R. Kelly or like a lot of other names that are getting thrown into this. Or you mentioned the ideas like, why do you want to be known for having these crazy ass parties? And then you think about like, there's guys like that are similar in this rope where like things are only going to further keep coming out. Or like Jamie Foxx. Like Jamie Foxx is somebody's like, oh, you ever been to a Jamie Foxx party? Like Jimmy Fox party's crazy. After this time, like after 2 a.m., everybody, like all clothes come out. Like there's like stories that you hear from other celebrities or other people being like, yo, like I've been to one of these parties, X, Y, and Z happens. I'm not gonna name names, but like you may know them from this, and that. So it's just a weird, deep world, bro. Like, and I know you don't really be reading too much into this stuff. I'm usually the one to come out with all this information.
You do.
But there's so many like layers to that shit. Like I was talking to somebody about the idea of yachting too. Like you ever heard about yachting? It's when you see all those rich people on like white boats and like off the coast of Ibiza and shit.
I mean, you say yacht, so I was figuring like it had to be like on a yacht.
Yeah. But apparently, like obviously they're there partying, having a good time. But another part of it is that a lot of them are performing like sex work in the same time, and that's where a lot of these like actors and actresses make their money, and social media people, because they'll be on like these random ass boats with like this old ass dude who got hella bread, but low key they all doing stuff to each other like for bread. Like apparently Zac Efron and like a bunch of other male actors are like a big part of it.
Damn.
All conspiracy, but like these are all like from tell-all letters from like people that have been a part of it. I don't know how valid it is, but these are things that come about and come to be.
Zach, bro.
Trey Songz another bull that people come out and say shit about, but he's still walking around.
I mean, his music just literally tells it all.
Yeah.
I mean, like, come on.
So that's somebody who's definitely attending at them freak offs.
This man said I'm about to dive in.
But it's like, at what point do people?
That's what he said. That's what Trey Songz said. I'm just saying. That's what he said.
I'm like, you just did a whole reference out. I caught that. But yeah, so you think about why these guys still free and whatnot. But you think the same, like, and then I was talking about it with my parents, and they're like, "Oh, it's crazy. Like, people gonna go to jail, this and that." I'm like, you think about it though? It's like, really? Do you think so? Because like that whole Epstein list dropped, and like people just chilling. You just act like them names weren't on there.
Yeah, like I said, it's just one of those things where it's like we're never gonna hear about it sometimes because there's a lot of hush like money stuff that's happening behind the scenes. So it's like you hear about it, like, oh yeah, like we're still like they're still investigating and all this and that. You never hear about it, but it's probably because somebody just got paid off.
Yeah.
Like, and now they're just like, oh yeah, never mind, we retract.
Yeah.
Never mind, we didn't find anything.
Or
we can't go any further.
Ends up being reduced sentences and stuff like that. Because even the Cassie thing, like they settled outside of court, so he probably paid her like a crazy bag to just like let it go.
I wonder how much she got paid.
Had to be a decent amount to like let it happen. You know,
like millions or billions.
Nah, he don't got billions to throw out. Like he's a billionaire, I'm sure, close to it, but I don't think he got billions to just hand out.
Right. Definitely millions.
Yeah. Because like
that's sad though.
And then you think about that as well. Is you think about the people he's dated in the past years, like how many of them are victims as well? Because like J-Lo's on that list, Cassie's on that list, a bunch of other people. He had, I believe, one of the moms of his kids like passed, and like people were saying that he had something to do with that. So
wow.
There's so much shit over there. And you think about this many stages of Diddy, where it's like obviously he had the time where he was with Bad Boy and did all that work, and then he had like making the band and shit, and like all the other things he did across his career and all the groups that he's been tied to, and he has his hands in so many things.
I mean, honestly, if y'all really, honestly, like people who watch it, if y'all honestly want to know, like, what you could think Diddy was like doing this stuff, literally just watch Get Him to the Greek.
Yeah.
Watch
he was playing himself.
He literally, like, when I watched that movie, I was a little confused.
I forget that is a thing.
Watch that movie, you will literally see how he probably was.
Yeah.
Like, probably to a T. Like, there's like a point towards like the middle to endish where it's like he's at a party and he's like on something and he's just like talking about like just feeling the rug, just like going, he's just saying like he's just wild. And
it's
I'm
from
just
experience.
Like, and I'm like, you're a little too on point with this, my man.
And then it's crazy. Like, there's literally video of him beating on Cassie, and like obviously I'm assuming she dropped the case, but like how is that man? How did it take up until now for this man to get like arrested?
I'm wondering why she dropped it. Honestly,
they settled outside of court. That was the report that they came to an agreement. But then you think about it, it's like, do you take that money or do you allow him to keep running wild and like doing stuff to other people?
I'm like, I would have never had dropped it. It's just like I don't know, man.
But then it's also for her own safety as well. Like you don't want her car to be baby oil bombed.
Yeah.
It's like so deep to it. It's like how far do you want to go with it? Even like some of the, you think about the women that probably have been a part of it, or like in his music videos and like the way he's acted, is like, do I speak up and fuck up my career or like my safety or whatever? Like nobody knows my name. If I go disappearing, it can just make it look like it was an unfortunate accident. He puts a little post out online. He's like, oh, I'm sorry to hear about it. And then people just move on. So it's like, how worth it is it?
Yeah.
Or do you just avoid it altogether?
Post or whatever when he was talking about it, like apologizing and stuff like that. And John just looks so fake.
So you just think about how far you should go with it or can go with it for your like own safety.
Yeah.
It's a difficult situation. So I get why some people were probably stuck in it or like have a hard time, or like why this could even go for as long as it did. Because like you said, there could be a lot of people in power as well that are also attached to it. I was trying to explain that to my parents as well, where like we're having this discussion. It was like, yeah, like all these, I think it was like 10 years of like investigation they were following Diddy around to get enough evidence. Because when they do like a RICO
So this
case,
was already something that was happening like for a while, or was it? Just,
I mean, Diddy's been Diddy for a long time. The thing is with like the feds or like anything like that, whenever they want to make sure they go after you, they make sure they have enough of enough on you that you cannot evade it by any means. So like they compiled a lot of shit to make sure that like they have enough to put him away, and there's nothing that he can really like do to deny it. Because there's 10 years worth of like information out there. Yeah. Same thing. I believe this did the same thing with Shane McMahon or Vince McMahon. But yeah, so they compiled like years and years of evidence. And it's like, yeah, cool. I tried to hint at the ideas like, if you think about, they've been attaching a lot of other names to this because obviously, you know, he has friends and people that hang out with him. If you think about like a Diddy, a Jay-Z, Mary J. Blige, somebody said, Jamie Foxx is in there, somebody said, Usher, somebody threw in the loop there.
Usher makes sense too.
All those people, and there's like, oh, like my dad or my parents were saying like Diddy doesn't have enough money to pay them all off, but I'm like, but them together though have enough pull to make something happen or at least reduce a sentence or do something like that. Yeah. And this has been going on for years. He has money and influence of people with power. How many of those people that were in those freak offs or like partying with him or enjoying with him or doing business with him also enjoy those same things or in that same house and they could be attached to that case. So like you bring Diddy down, anybody that was in the room with him would also fall down with him.
That's true. Yeah.
So it's like, that's what I was like, there's a chance he could get away with this in some capacity or at least minimal damage.
Yeah. It's something that's just like, it just is really dumb, but yeah, I mean, they got the money, so they're just going to basically protect each other until one of them goes down. And they don't want to, you know, fall down by themselves. But I doubt it's going to happen, you know.
It's just it's going to take a while, too.
Because it's like you scratch my back, I scratch yours. And it's just going to be like that forever, you know, until it's impossible. But again, when is it going to be like that? So
then Meek is pulled in this as well. Apparently there's video or audio of Meek and Diddy getting down. Like, get up. Situate him.
Now I'm thinking about you said Usher. I mean, they probably played his music while all that stuff was happening.
Hell yeah, bro. And then they try to tie him to Justin Bieber as well, because Justin Bieber has talked about many a times how like he's been abusing the industry and like how he got picked up at a young age. So that was he was one of the initial people that said like shit is just weird out here. Same thing with Diddy.
And I'm thinking, I'm just wondering, like, who else, you know, that
bro, it goes so deep because all these people just hang around each other.
Because I'm afraid to, like, think about some of the people that I, like,
it's gonna be, it's gonna be people that you like
T-Pain.
Yeah. No, T-Pain, I think T-Pain too wholesome for that. I think it's when you have, like, that level of superstardom. Maybe back then, maybe he got, like you said, like, early on.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah. But I don't think he's like still currently ongoing with it.
I would doubt it too. But yeah,
I think the people who have had fame and sustained it at a high level for super long are definitely tied into it. I feel like what happens sometimes, obviously you have your hot start and you peak up, and then it's not to sound like conspiracy-ish, but like something similar along the lines where people say like, oh, you get approached by the Illuminati, being like, oh, like do X, Y, and Z, and like you'll help your career boost even further. And I think when people say yes or no, kind of like determines like how far you go in a sense, because you could kind of stay like mid-level or like T-Pain, somebody who's already built his legacy early on to sustain a good career, but not like where he's at the forefront.
Yeah, I think it's also like when you.
That was this one.
Okay, I think it's also where you get to a certain point where it's like you don't have that that drive to like how do I say it? Like, I feel like T-Pain was in a position, like you said, where he had his stardom, and it's like he's still, in a sense, like grinding. Like, it's not like he's like done.
He's still working, and he's still good at his job. So he has connections.
But it's like people like, you know, Diddy, where it's like he's just kind of set in a sense where he doesn't have to really do anything big. He probably just has to sign off on papers, and he just gets bread. You know, like that's just like that's
he
the
owns
two
enough.
Difference, you know, like
he drops an album when he wants to.
Yeah, it's like T-Pain is somebody I feel like who gets up. And he's like, okay, I gotta work. Yeah. Where someone like Diddy is just like, okay, yeah, like I can afford to like not do anything for like 2 years and be okay, you know, where it's like some people aren't like that. So that being said, like, yeah, hopefully like somebody like T-Pain and
Yeah.
I don't know who else I can think of, but yeah.
He's still producing. He's still doing features. He still makes his own music. He still tours. He still has his stream. He has his podcast. So he's doing this thing. But like it's been openly put out there before as well, where like around the time that T-Pain was at his peak, and then you think about Jay-Z released Death of Auto-Tune, which is a direct diss at T-Pain, and like other stuff that they did to suppress his music, like also just killed his career. And then Usher openly went out and like told T-Pain, like, yo, like you ruined my life type shit with this, like the way you doing music, like you're ruining my shit.
Oh, so Usher was coming at T-Pain.
Yeah, like this is like T-Pain himself has told this story where he was like, I saw Usher when I was like popping. I went to go say what's up to Usher, and like he was just like, yeah, like you fucking my shit up with the way you doing things. Like all this auto-tune shit is killing, like it's fucking up my momentum.
I'll be like, all right, bro, then try
Do
harder.
better, like, yeah.
Like, bro, that's not my fault. Like, how are you gonna get upset at somebody who's trying to make a name for themselves? They're trying to make a name for themselves, and like that's gonna happen with everybody. Like, bro, there's been even more singers that came
Since
out.
then, yeah.
Yeah, like, what are you gonna go?
It's just hater shit, bro.
Yeah,
like T-Pain was on every fucking song at the same time, like popping, like on Lil Wayne type shit.
At that point, I'd be like, yo, like get on a song with me.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna sit there and be like, yo, like get out of here. Like,
nah,
no,
we could both eat, bro.
Yeah.
You know, T-Pain almost had a song with Michael Jackson.
That's crazy.
You didn't hear it before? He told this story too, where he said, I forgot who else was on it.
That's awesome.
But it was
Hey T-Pain.
It was him.
It
It was T-Pain, Michael Jackson, and one other person. They were on the track together, and it's out. You can hear it, but it just never got officially released. And I think the producer, or they hired somebody to do like some type of background vocals for the song. He got hyped at the fact that like, oh, it's like these guys are going to be on a song, and he leaked the song. And Michael was like, don't put it out. I don't want it out. So they never officially released it, but it's out there. You can listen to it, and it's a fucking hit, bro. He's like, it would have been the biggest song of my career.
Wow, that sucks.
Yeah.
Man. It sucks I got leaked, bro. Dang, but yeah, like that's awesome.
It's just
But
that
yeah.
money and fame shit. Like I can't.
Now that you tell me all this, I'm like, bro, I don't like Usher. That man's he's a cheese ball.
That's what's tough too. Is like, I love the music, but then they all end up being just shitty people. Like these are also guys that like. P. Diddy was also, I believe, played a hand in Usher coming up as well. Like that's how old P. Diddy is. I think he discovered Usher or something along those lines. So he was with Usher when he was like 16. So who knows what happened to Usher at that time either, too.
That's why he is the way he is and the music he makes.
And that's why something similar probably happened between Usher and Justin Bieber. Like a lot of the time when you think about these people that are abusers or anything like that,
They get groomed,
yeah, they've been groomed or they've been abused before, and they end up hurting somebody else in the future because that's what's happened
Diddy
to
probably
them.
told Usher, yo, get Bieber.
Yeah. Or like Diddy himself, like I'm sure something happened to Diddy as well. Or same thing you hear with Usher when all that stuff was coming about. He said, he was like, yo, like I've been molested and like all this other stuff. So I'm not saying these people were just born evil. Shit happens to them, but they just continue this cycle and it fucks it up and it just branches out to so many people. That's why I don't fuck with that white party that they do at the Hamptons every year with Michael Rubin, the former owner of the Sixers, bro.
Yeah.
That shit gives me heebie-jeebie weird vibes, bro. They do freak-offs in there. I ain't never been. Drewski was there too.
Yeah, Drewski was there. He was there.
But I know they do weird shit in there.
Yeah. Yeah, because I just think about it right now. You think about like hearing this type of stuff. It's like, how can you sit there and imagine and think that all those rich people in one building, they just go to a party that's like has on like an invite like, oh yeah, from 7 to midnight, and then everybody goes home.
Nah,
you think
bro.
everybody just goes
There'll
home?
be crazy drugs, crazy like people getting paid to do some things.
Like, there's no way I can imagine like all those people are just like, man, it sucks the party's over, man, but we'll be here next time.
They probably swapping keys, you know what I mean? That's that old school shit.
Yeah.
Or they probably doing freak offs and like whoever wins the freak. It's like some Mr. Beast shit. It's like whoever wins the freak off leaves with this Aston Martin.
I hope, Jimmy never goes to any of that stuff or never gets axed. I hope.
Jimmy?
That's his actual name.
Who you talking about? Oh, Jimmy.
Mr. Beast, yeah.
He's in the, I don't know. It's not his speed, but he got that money, so you never know anymore.
That's true. He's going to be like, yo, make a video right now.
Yeah.
on my freak offs.
Yeah. There's probably a hidden one out there, like on the dark web. Jimmy's like, all right, guys.
I hope not, man. This man's trying to save the world. We just got no time for you to do all that other stuff.
It's like whenever you have like that crazy money like that, I feel like it's just like in certain situations, like when you reach a certain level, things just get weird, bro.
Yeah.
You get invited to weird shit, and it's like you got to make a decision where you whether to partake or just go home.
It's either fame or money. It's one of those two that ends up getting too much into your head.
Yeah.
You
That's
get too
right.
much fame, you get too many connections, people start talking to you. You got too much money, you're like, I don't know what to do with it, so now I'm going to use it on stupid stuff.
Yeah, I'm cool off it, bro. Give me that T-Pain level shit.
Exactly. You just
That's why
gotta
I
stay.
think I talked about it before. It's like there's a certain level of fame. There's like I want to be known for my in my niche for what I do, and
Mhm.
that's it. I don't need superstardom.
No, yeah, I would never want to be in that type of level either, because it gives me a reason to, like I said, wake up, grind, but also be like, okay, I'm having fun doing this. People are like, oh, yo, like I know you from this, and I'm just like, hey,
I
dope.
appreciate you, bro.
Like
and
I
I'm
would
like,
rather get people who are gonna like hit me up in the streets and dab me up, like maybe like 5 people most, you know, like that's it. Like I don't need to have like crowds of people. Like, oh my, like,
Yeah.
nah, bro, I don't need all that. But
Well-
if I get recognized for that level, I'm like, sure, like cool.
I mean, if I'm able to say no to all that shit, which I know I would, but like as long as like my life not in danger, like if
Oh,
I
yeah.
at whatever point that I'm cool with just being like, all right, cool, yeah, we could work together, da da da, I'm going home. But then it's also like you don't want to be tied to these people either, because you think like not only you think about Diddy, right, and then we mentioned like who might be involved.
Mhm.
Think about over the years how many people have been like buddy with him, knowing that stuff is going on.
Yeah.
It just makes you look even if you're not partaking in it, like you might have heard about it or know about it, and you still are like cool with it.
Yeah.
That's how Cole beat his ass. You ever heard that story?
What did he slap him or no?
No,
Actually, okay.
P Diddy slapped Drake.
Okay. That's what I'm
And
like.
that's when you see
somebody
Drake.
got slapped.
That's when they see that old picture of Drake running out the club, like all this money on him or some shit. I forgot what it was. But when Kendrick had just come out with Control, I think, or whatever song he was just saying, Kendrick said, he said, "I'm the king of New York." P Diddy being from New York, he took offense to that. So he was at a club. This was Kendrick just starting out. And I think he poured a drink on Kendrick, and Kendrick was about to spaz out, and Cole was like, "Nah, like."
I'm sorry. I'm just thinking if he did it, like you said, Bad Boy, you just say, why not?
Yeah.
He was a drink.
Why?
Why?
But yeah, he was about to spaz out, and I think Cole was like, "Nah, chill." Like, and Cole stuck up for him, and then P Diddy like got on his shit, and J Cole beat the shit out of him, would like knocked his ass out. And Jay-Z just signed with J Cole just signed with Jay-Z recently, and then P Diddy was about to wild out and like have somebody send somebody on Cole, and Jay-Z was like, "Yo, chill, that's my artist." Da da da. Like, and you know they respect each other, so you know Jay-Z was like, "Cool off my man's. He's 6'4". He whooped your ass. Like, calm the fuck down."
I mean, yeah, bro. Like relax. Like that's just, yeah. I wish like Kendrick would have did something.
Yeah, but Kendrick is a short king, you know.
Yeah, that's true.
Sure, he would have, but you know,
Not
It is
like
what it
us.
is.
That's why.
and look at him now, Super Bowl,
Yeah.
and Jay-Z announced that too. See, it goes too deep, man. You don't know what's going on, but we're gonna get out of here before we end up with a red dot on our head.
Yeah.
Where can they find you, Mark?
Find me Instagram at Marky Mark. Victor, where can they find you? And etc.
Find me everywhere at ETC Victor, and etc. was at Rilla, etc. Hide your baby oil. Throw it out if you have it. It has a weird connotation now. If you have more than one bottle and it's not a bottle from like 1998 and the old label and shit because you had it for a long time, get rid of it. I don't care if you have kids.
I don't care.
There's no room for it in the house.
Yeah, there's no reason for it. Just use some lotion.
Yeah, but all right, we out of here. See you guys next week. Bye.
Peace.